Divided by battlefield, united by love. Here's an atypical love story that unfolds across the virtual battlefields of a popular video game.
मैं वापस नहीं जाना चाहती, मैं यहाँ रहना चाहती हूँ। यहाँ की मुझे नागरिकता मिल जाए मेरे बच्चों के साथ। जैसे रखेंगे, जहाँ रखेंगे, अगर कानून यहाँ का मतलब कोई डाउट है उनको तो मुझे कहीं भी रखेंगे, जैसे रखेंगे मैं रह लूंगी, पर मेरा पति मेरे बच्चे साथ हो।
Seema Haider, a married Pakistani Muslim, and Sachin Meena, a Hindu man, team up in PUBG to conquer the battlefield and become the ultimate survivors. As they play, their friendships grow stronger and extends beyond the game through Instagram and WhatsApp. But here's where things get interesting. Seema, along with her 4 children, takes a daring step and secretly enters India to be with Sachin forever. I know you must be wondering, how did Seema manage to cross the Pakistan border and make her way to India? 27-year-old Seema hails from Sindh province in Pakistan and was settled in Karachi after her marriage. Seema's husband Ghulam Haider works in Saudi Arabia. This May, she set out from Karachi with her 4 children in tow. They took a flight to Dubai and a connecting one to Kathmandu. From Nepal, they headed to Pokhara and hopped on a bus to sneak across the Indian border illegally. Surprisingly, their plan worked smoothly, possibly because a woman traveling with 4 kids didn't raise any suspicions during the checks. Their next stop was Delhi, and not too far away from their final destination, Rabupura, a town in UP where Sachin had already made all the arrangements. How did they plan this risky route? Well, they turned to YouTube for guidance. Police revealed that Seema had sold off a piece of land for rupees 12 lakh to fund her travel from Pakistan to Nepal and then to India. Unfortunately, their time together was short-lived. After approximately 2 months of secretly residing in the neighborhood in Rabupura, Seema and Sachin encountered the Indian authorities. The couple's plan to marry was foiled when a lawyer tipped off the police about Seema. They were caught en route to Ballavgarh in Haryana. The lawyer discovered that Seema and her children were carrying Pakistani passports and inquired about the marriage process in India. Seema claimed to be a victim of domestic abuse in Pakistan, stating that her husband would physically harm her for minor reasons and that she hadn't seen him for almost 4 years. Concerns arose when Seema abruptly left the lawyer's office upon being questioned about her Indian visa. The lawyer promptly informed the police after learning that they were residing in Rabupura. Seema and her children were taken into custody for unlawfully entering India, while Sachin and his father were arrested on the charges related to conspiring to provide shelter to someone considered an enemy. When the police questioned them, they discovered that Sachin, who earned his living from a small store, didn't lie or deceive Seema with false hopes. The police also mentioned that Seema knew he wasn't financially well off. It wasn't his job that caught her attention, but rather his skills in PUBG. India and Pakistan, these 2 countries have quite a history, and these tensions are high that even pigeons have ended up in detention on spy charges. It's unbelievable, right? Now let's talk about what happens when someone sneaks across Pakistan border into India without permission. Well, that's considered illegal according to Indian law. The couple might have to spend a few years behind bars, and once that's over, Seema and her children could be sent back to their home country. We have this rule called Foreigners Act of 1946, which deals with how foreigners enter and stay in the country. So when someone breaks this law, they can face some serious consequences. The authorities can detain and arrest them on charges of illegal entry. The penalties include imprisonment, fine, and subsequent deportation. What happens if foreigners extend their stay beyond the authorized period? It's considered staying illegally, and you know what? That's a big no-no according to Indian immigration laws. If they get caught, they can face a whole bunch of consequences. We are talking about fines, detention, deportation, and in some cases even ban on coming back to India. Seema also attempted to erase any traces of being Pakistani. The SIM card found in her possession was broken, and so was her phone. With Sachin's help, she managed to obtain 3 fake Aadhaar cards to obtain Indian citizenship. So here comes the question. What if foreigner tricks or fakes an Aadhaar card? The law says that messing with Aadhaar card is fraud and it can land up in serious trouble. This Unique Identification Authority of India, UIDAI, manages Aadhaar cards and they have strict rules. If caught, foreigners who forge or tamper with Aadhaar cards could face criminal charges like impersonation, cheating, forgery or fraud. The consequences? It could mean fines, jail time or both. Coming back into the story, days ago in a video message from Saudi Arabia, Ghulam Haider, Seema's husband, appeals to the Indian government for his assistance in reuniting with his wife.
मैं मोदी सरकार को हाथ जोड़ के गुजारिश करता हूँ, अपील करता हूँ कि मेरे बच्चे मेरे हवाले करें, पाकिस्तान के हवाले किए जाएं।
He came to know about Seema and about their children being in Greater Noida through the Indian media.
हिंदुस्तान के मीडिया का मैं बहुत शुक्रगुजार हूँ कि मुझे तो कोई पता नहीं था मेरे बच्चे किधर हैं। ये भारत मीडिया से मैंने एक क्लिप देखा था कि मेरे बच्चे भारत के पुलिस कस्टडी में हैं। मैंने देखा, मेरा होश उड़ गए, मेरे बच्चे कैसे चले गए।
However, Seema herself has made it clear to reporters that she has no intention of returning to Ghulam Haider. She expresses fear for her life if she goes back to Pakistan, citing strict laws.
वो ऐसे ड्रामा कर रहे हैं, उसकी बातों को आप इग्नोर करें, वो ड्रामा कर रहे हैं, उनकी बात वो इतना प्यार नहीं करते भारत से जितनी वो रिक्वेस्ट कर रहे हैं। मैं सचिन के साथ तो रहना चाहती हूँ, रहूंगी, मैं मरते दम तक ये रहूंगी। मुझे वापस भेज दिया गया, मुझे वहीं तो मार देंगे, इससे अच्छा मैं यहाँ मर जाऊँ।
Love has the power to drive people to extraordinary lengths, even if it means crossing all boundaries. Now let's consider a scenario where the father of the children fights for custody. Which government will ultimately decide? Will India deport Seema to a country she does not wish to go to? What actions might India take? Could there be a possibility of deporting her to a third country? If so, which country would that be? We can't predict what the future holds for Seema. Will the authorities decide to deport her or impose harsh legal penalties? But don't worry, we'll make sure to keep you in the loop with any news updates through the additional videos. Stay tuned.